cubs in China's Macau celebrated their first birthday on Sunday.
This is also the first time they have been shown to the public with their mother. The twin brothers sat on the ground eating their birthday cakes made of bamboos while visitors watched them enjoy behind the glass. Visitors sang happy birthday and other songs to Jian Jian and Kang Kang in Cantonese.
I'm very happy to see those pandas. This is our first time to see Jian Jian and Kang Kang.
The panda care team said Jian Jian now weighs about 23 kilograms and Kang Kang 22 kilograms. The two are still babies and are fed mainly on breast milk and milk powder. But they're also starting to learn from their mother's behavior, including how to pick up bamboo. The brothers and their parents will be shown to the public in Macau every afternoon during the summer vacation.
July the 1st marks the 20th anniversary of Hong Kong's return to China, with various events being held in and out of China to mark the occasion. In San Francisco, a photo exhibition dedicated to the anniversary kicked off Saturday morning.
The show displayed some 5 dozens of photos provided by China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They feature historical moments as well as social and economic life of Hong Kong since China resumed exercise of sovereignty over the territory on July the 1st, 1997. More than 200 people, including Chinese Consul General to San Francisco, Luo Lianchuan, and some Chinese language students attended the opening of the event. The event was co-organized by 5 local Chinese American community groups, plus some community leaders of various walks of life. Organizers also held volleyball competitions and a discussion forum over the weekend, with a dinner party and a performance gala scheduled later this week.
The 2017 Shanghai International Film Festival concluded on Sunday night. Let's have a look at the winners.
The outstanding winners at the Shanghai International Film Festival's Golden Goblet Awards were the Philippines, Iran, and Russia after their films took the top prizes. Filipino drama Petticat won the Best Feature Film Award. In Iran's Yellow and Russia's Carms won 2 prizes each. The former won the Jury Grand Prix, and Best Actress went to Sarah Bayat. Carms, a biopic about the poet Daniel Yuvashev, or Daniel Carms, won the Best Screenplay and Best Cinematography prizes. The film is a co-production between Russia, Lithuania, and Macedonia. Taking the Best Actor award for Cai Shanjun's The Conformist was Huan Bo, China's One Wing at the competition. Basketball player Stephen Marbury won the Best New Actor award for the autobiographical drama My Other Home. The Shanghai International Film Festival is the largest film festival in China and one of the biggest events of its kind in Asia. Along with the Tokyo International Festival, it's also one of the few Asian film festivals to be given an A-category film festival by the FIAPF.
The results from China's Gaokao, the country's notoriously difficult college entrance exam, have now been released. The college admission score requirements were issued over the weekend, setting the entry standards for different universities. That means some 9.4 million Chinese students start their final application process, the last step towards starting university.
The Gaokao, China's fiercely competitive exam, took place across the country on June the 7th, lasting 2 to 3 days. This annual exam is the biggest in the world. This year, the number of candidates was at 9.4 million, just a little less than the population of Sweden. Around 4 million will meet the minimum scores for different regions' admission standards and enroll into some 3,000 higher learning institutions across the country. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the exam since it was resumed in 1977, following a decade-long suspension.
我是在40年前参加的高考，那是恢复高考以后的第一年，1977年。
I took the exam 40 years ago, the year when the Gaokao was resumed. I passed the exam and enrolled in Nankai University. After graduation, I found a job at the People's Bank of China. So the Gaokao was a turning point in my whole life.
Wang is one of the millions of people who hold a special affection for the Gaokao. 70-year-old Gan Fubao has collected all 40 exam papers since the Gaokao was resumed. After completing the exam in 1977, Gan was admitted to study physics at Jiangxi University and could leave his life as a factory worker. He then became an engineer after graduation.
1977年高考，那我们的
We went all out in 1977 after hearing the news that Gaokao was restored. I was so excited and attended the exam. That year I was almost 30. I remember the title of the essay was Memorial Moment. For me, it was a moment that I received the exam admission ticket. It has been delayed for 11 years.
The Gaokao was stopped when the Cultural Revolution began in 1966. During that period, only a handful of students could attend universities through recommendations. After an 11-year hiatus, then leader Deng Xiaoping made the decision to restore the Gaokao, bringing hope to tens of millions of struggling young Chinese people. The fierce competition has been almost the only way for students from poor, rural areas to change their lives.
我在1983年参加高考，最后考上了清华大学的无线电系。
I chose Gaokao in 1983 and was admitted to Tsinghua University, where I majored in radio. Before that, I lived among the mine fields in Fuxin, Liaoning Province. Now I am the CEO of China's largest integrated circuit manufacturing enterprises. So, I think Gaokao is the fairest start for everyone. You take the chance, and there is a very big stage of life waiting for you. University education changed my fate. We really feel grateful for Deng Xiaoping, who made the decisive change.
This decision would seem to change the fate of a whole generation of Chinese people and of the country. After China's reform and opening up began, over 900,000 university students from Zhao's generation became the best in their fields. They achieved their aspirations and made outstanding contribution to the country's development. In the last 40 years, 120 million Chinese have enrolled in universities. Graduates have been an important driving force behind the decades of robust economic growth of China. The exam system, however, is not free of criticism, as the fierce competition and the overemphasis on examination grades mean students come under much pressure. However, things are changing. China plans to overhaul the exam and university enrollment system by 2020 to improve fairness and transparency. The reform will balance the weighting assigned to schools and students in terms of preferred college placements.
Despite its weak points, such as heavy burden on students, the Gaokao is a test that fits China's overall conditions and is a fair start for all. The success of the past 40 years have a lot to do with Gaokao system.
News the Gaokao is to become fairer and more transparent is bringing hope to younger students already anticipating the pressure of taking the exam in the future.
Muslims around the world are celebrating Eid al-Fitr, the festival marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan. The three-day fast-breaking holiday is not only an occasion for Muslims to celebrate eating regularly again, but also to enjoy special festivities with fellow Muslims. The start date varies from country to country. Most celebrations begin on Sunday. Lifestyles begins with a visit to Cairo, Egypt.
Millions of Muslims in Egypt came to mosques to celebrate Eid al-Fitr with prayers on Sunday. People usually begin their celebrations with Eid prayers and then return home for breakfast. After that, they visit family members and enjoy time with friends on various activities.
After our efforts met during the holy months of Ramadan, we perform Eid prayers and then we have some rest. Next day, we gather with family members and relatives. I like to celebrate Eid with friends and my family. I also like to see people whom I haven't seen for a long time. I and my friend like to go to the movies. enjoy some time in the cafe, or go to downtown. Moreover, I like to visit pyramids.
In Jordan's capital city, Amman, thousands of Muslims started their morning prayers in a city square. The Ministry of Islamic Affairs and Holy Sites of Jordan organized some 400 locations around the kingdom for prayers and Islamic rituals. Normal security measures were in place. People in Syria felt more secure during this year's Eid al-Fitr celebrations. Relative to previous years, the violence was low. In a Maza neighborhood in western Damascus, children and their parents visited amusement parks, wearing new clothes and enjoying the celebrations.
The situation is calm now and much better than it was in previous years. And now the sound of mortar shells have largely decreased, and the situation become better. In previous years of war, I couldn't dare to take my kids out to celebrate the Eid feast. But now it is different. We are going out and enjoying our time.
The present calm was attributed to the de-escalation zones deal that was implemented last month across several Syrian cities. The relatively stable atmosphere has also revived visits across provinces. More people took up their former custom of visiting relatives in other Syrian cities and regions. Hussam Ayash came from the city of Homs to celebrate the Eid holiday with his in-laws in Damascus.
The difference is big between this year and previous ones, and I think the situation is becoming much better with time, and we are having fun now. You can sense that from the atmosphere around. You can see people going out to celebrate without worries, and by the way, I came to celebrate with my in-laws from Homs city. My utmost desire in my life is to see the end of lingering crisis and the return of lasting peace in my homeland, Afghanistan.
50-year-old Khalilullah told CNC he was hoping for peace after visiting a local mosque in Afghanistan's capital, Kabul, on Sunday. He had come to offer prayers for Eid al-Fitr. Thousands of Muslims offer their Eid al-Fitr prayer to mark the end of Ramadan amid tighter security. Many shared Khalilullah's wish that life might be more peaceful.
This is my honest desire to have a lasting peaceful life like we have today, to celebrate Eid festival. And my prayer is to have lasting peace here in Afghanistan.
This Ramadan has been recorded as the bloodiest month in Afghanistan in the past year. Hundreds of people have been killed and injured in terrorist attacks claimed by both the Taliban and the IS. The Afghan government has increased security measures to ensure safety in congregation areas across the country during the Eid holidays. Filipino Muslims gathered in mosques and public places in Manila to pray for peace and unity as part of their celebrations for Eid. Many were especially concerned for those suffering conflict in the Islamic city of Marawi. The country's armed forces unilaterally declared an 8-hour truce in the besieged southern Filipino city of Marawi on Sunday. Fighting broke out in the city when IS militants attacked the city on May the 23rd, prompting the military to launch a counteroffensive. Since then, there has been a resulting series of clashes lasting for months. The conflict has driven away over 200,000 residents from the city and killed nearly 400 people, including 69 soldiers and police officers.
It has been 2 years since the start of the mass flows of refugees and migrants into Greece in 2015. While the crisis increasingly tests Europe's limits, a Greek expert told CNC that paradoxes of the EU policy towards refugees still lie at the root of the problem.
Angelos Syrigos has served as Secretary General of Population and Social Cohesion of the Greek Ministry of Interior from 2012 to 2015. He says the refugee crisis caught Europe unprepared, and despite measures taken to tackle the problems, shortages in a common EU policy seem to undermine efforts.
Of the problem, there are many paradoxes many paradoxes of the EU policy towards refugees. That means if you are a refugee and you reside at South Sudan or Darfur, you cannot arrive legally into the European Union. But if you manage to enter illegally into the European Union and you declare that you are a refugee, then you are offered asylum. So indirectly the European Union invites people to cross illegally the borders in order to become officially refugees. That's one of the paradoxes.
The Greek expert referred to a long list of such paradoxes, including EU's failure to assist the refugees once they flee to areas close to their homes, long before the flows reach Europe.
The war in Syria started in 2011. Between 2011 up to 2015, the amount of money that the European Union as a European Union or the EU states as states offered to the area was equal to 1 bottle of drinking water per day per person. So it was totally inadequate.
According to the professor, wrong messages sent from Greece and other EU countries exacerbated the problems in the first few months. He said that the Greek government passed a wrong message that people are welcome to Greece as long as they continue their journey to other countries.
After August 2015, the Greek government changed its policy, and since then they are trying to fight with the problem, not necessarily successfully. There are many problems with the housing of the people, with the facilities that are on the islands in order to accommodate these people and accommodate their needs.
More than 60,000 people have been stranded in Greece since the closure of the Balkan route to Central Europe in February 2016. The professor pointing to the slow pace in the implementation of the EU relocation program launched in 2015.
For the first few months, we had a relocation of something like 40 people per month. Now it goes faster, but it needs improvement. And there is a further problem. In practice, it works as a beauty contest. That means I ask the most capable people, the most educated people to come to my country. I don't want uneducated people with many children, etc., etc.
The professor said the situation is manageable as long as the number of refugees who arrive in Europe is limited. Otherwise, more issues rise.
The general image is that it improves, but we still need better performances, because if it continues like this, it was supposed to last for 2 years. If it continues like this, it will last for at least another 5 or 6 years.
Sirgas urged for swift changes in the EU's common approach to effectively deal with the problems.
I believe that at the end of the day, and when I mean at the end of the day, I mean after several months, some steps will be taken into the direction of a common European asylum system, a real one, applying to all the EU countries. But still, there are problems.
An exhibition by artist Victor Passmore, one of the pioneers of British abstract art, has opened in London. For more, we spoke to his son, who introduced CNC some of the stories behind the paintings.
The exhibition traces Passmore's development towards more abstract compositions in his later work. After a career spanning 70 years, Victor passed on in 1998. But today, his son John is on hand to walk CNC through some of his father's signature style.
My father's very good at putting colours together. They're always the right amount of colour, as well as the intensity and the shift of colour. But when he spent a long time in Malta, it was said that the Mediterranean light tended to affect his colour. So he started using many more blues. Whereas in the very early paintings, back in the 60s, they were more browns and darker hues. But having spent quite a long time in the Mediterranean, it appears that that feeling came across in some of his paintings with quite a few blue pictures.
The exhibition conveys Passmore's appetite for new ideas and inspiration, prevalent throughout the many strands of his varied career. The works on display demonstrate the peak in Passmore's abstract practice and his unique place in 20th century British art. However, according to his son, the change might not have happened if Passmore hadn't seen the work of another artist at the time.
Before he was an abstract artist, he was doing figurative paintings, like people, landscapes. But he ditched all that because he was more interested in seeing a new form of art. He went to see a Picasso show years ago in London, the Victorian Albert Museum, and when he saw that, he thought, crikey, I can't carry on doing nudes and landscapes. I've got to start again.
Today, he is regarded as one of Britain's most celebrated artists. Passmore achieved acclaim as both a figurative and abstract painter, and is most well known for the pioneering development of abstract art in Britain in the 1940s. The exhibition celebrating his work runs until the 29th of July.
云天无际，承载梦想。中国南方航空是中国运输飞机最多、航线网络最发达、年客运量最大的航空公司。亚洲第一，全球第三，是南航缔造的业界奇迹。蓝天壮志情，云海谱华章。
专业的团队，丰厚的经验。
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the Lake Cook Law Group.
投资理财、法律咨询，芝加哥专业律师团队为您的梦想提供最安全的保障。
This is Little Chinese Channel, 小小中文, Lesson 27. In this lesson, we will be studying these 6 Chinese characters. From our last lesson, we learned the character Yue. If we change these 2 horizontal strokes with 2 dots and add a horizontal stroke and a slanted stroke, this character is Zhou. Zhou. Zhou means boat. 小舟. Xiao zhou is a small boat. Zhou is part of these 2 characters. If we turn Zhou back into Yue and put a second Yue beside it, this character is Peng. Peng means friend. 朋友means friend. If we change this Yue with a 日 this character turns into Ming. Ming means bright. 明亮 means bright. Next, we'll learn a new root character. What's this? 水 means water. 水龙头，水龙头，水龙头，水龙头 means faucet. We put a horizontal stroke and a dot on top. These two purple Play-Dohs are just one stroke. So this is 永, 永, 永 means forever. 永远, 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 永远 means forever. Next, we'll learn a new root character. What's this? 夫, 夫, 夫 means husband. 丈夫, 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 丈夫 means husband. Okay, it's time to write. Remember when you're writing to follow the stroke sequence. Joe, 疼 明 水 永 夫 Bye-bye, the lesson is done. Soccer ball!